Now let's talk about AI. Ugh. You know, I was in a good mood. Now I'm gonna buzzkill myself, aren't I? We're talking about AI. Oh god. AI upscaling for 4K remasters of movies. I'm gonna chuck a couple over there because I love editing. These are from Aliens and True Lies. You've probably already seen these. I'm not releasing this video till 2024, so what does it matter? Maybe I don't know, probably. I don't know, maybe I'll release it at the end of 2023. I don't know, probably. It doesn't matter. The point is, this is getting annoying. For those who love physical media, especially something that can shine and glimmer on your shelf, and for those who respect film, this is bad. We know this, you know? I'll throw those images away for now. So they obviously announced, which people have been waiting for yonkers. Oh my god, announced it already. Yeah, James Cameron was doing 4K releases for Aliens and True Lies and The Abyss. I haven't seen images for The Abyss, so maybe that one's okay, but I probably would have had images there if it looked like crap. They've done AI upscaling for Aliens and True Lies. They might have done it for The Abyss. I haven't seen any images for it, but obviously everyone's gone ham-fisted at what the fuck. Why does True Lies look so plastic? I even showed my dad, and he's someone who doesn't really care that much because sometimes it's not as noticeable. Like we've got Terminator 2 on 4K. I didn't know that there was a problem with it before I bought it, and then we watched it, and I'm like, man, and everyone's like, wow, this looks like it was filmed yesterday. I'm like, yeah. I mean, I was young enough at the time that I was appreciative of like, wow, this is cool, and the explosions and whatever. You know, 4K, what a great product we have, because we didn't have a Blu-ray, so, you know, you went straight from the DVD to a 4K, and it's like, holy shit. But then I've ended up getting a Skynet edition to rectify the issue of, yeah, this also doesn't come with all three of the cuts. Now I have all three cuts, baby. And the least amount of DNR applied to any of the films. Holy shit. The amount of research I had to put in just to find the right version. I was showing him these images, and someone actually had it in the same Twitter thread showing the images from that Beatles doco, the Get Back one that Peter Jackson did, because apparently it's his AI company, or his restoration company, who's been using this AI software, which they had done for the Get Back documentary. And my dad was okay with that. I'd bought it for him as a gift when it came out. And so, you know, he had watched it all on Disney Plus because we had access to it. He was able to watch it all, which was great for me, having half of my weekend spent locked in my room because my dad was watching fucking Beatles documentaries. Oh no. Anyway, so I ended up getting the Blu-ray. He's watched it twice now because, you know, what else are you going to do? And I can't watch it. He wants me to watch it. I want to watch it. I've even seen the rooftop tour, the concert thingy, the concert that they had. I saw that in cinema. And the whole time I was watching that, I'm like, something feels really off when I'm watching this. And it wasn't until I got home that I found out that they had also done the, you know, awful, you know, DNR editing to the film as well. And I'm like, this sucks. Because Dad was someone who had obviously seen the, I think he had a DVD of Get Back, or he'd seen it when it first came out and it looked like shit. And whether the original version of the film looks like shit is one thing. The fact that they've gone through all of the footage and made a 9-hour-long documentary and put it in HD, wonderful. That's great. But then being like, oh, it's okay that they've made it look like shit, because in contrast to how shitty the old movie looked, I'm like, that's not an excuse. That's just because that one was badly edited. They could have remastered that and it could look absolutely picturesque, and you'd be like, you know, it's a piece of shit movie, or it's a bad documentary, or whatever the hell it is, but at least it looks good, you know. Whereas this is 9 hours of the Beatles, and it looks like crap. So, seeing it in action is bad. I don't like it. I can hardly watch it, and I don't know if I'll ever be able to watch the whole thing, because it's just an eyesore. Which, even my dad's had to say, pointed out, he's like, you should just try to get past it, because the information that's there is really valuable. Like, it's really interesting stuff. Even though he admitted that it should have been like 7 hours instead of 9 hours or whatever, which is pretty fair. Like, that's if you got someone saying, too much, it's like, maybe. But my favorite parts is when I walk in and my dad's watching it, and you just have Yoko start doing what she does, and you're like, That's Yoko. Respect Yoko. Um, hey, we're all kooky in our own rights. But so yeah, not great. Not loving this way that they're doing the upscaling, the way that they're remastering this stuff to make it look like shit. I don't get it. I hate it, and it sucks because for something like Aliens, I'm like, that's alright. I've got the old Blu-ray. I don't need a 4K. You know, I love Alien on 4K, but I don't need to get Aliens on 4K. But then The Abyss, I don't have a physical of that. I've seen it in 70mm once. That was a couple years ago, and I really liked it. And I know that the next time I watch it, which will probably be in a new 4K, which will probably be on Disney Plus actually, because I think they're all on Disney Plus as I'm recording. Hence why a lot of people know that these 4Ks look bad. That's a great telltale sign, isn't it? Oh, these are going to exclusively go on a streaming service before they get physical releases next year, and then everyone can look at it and be like, oh my god, this looks like trash. It's like the Pirates of the Caribbean when they remastered those and they just did DNR and it looks crap, and I'd already bought the 5-pack set, watched the first one, said this looks like shit, sold it on eBay, got my money back plus some because people were desperate to get the 4K sets, and I hated it. I'm like, I don't want this. I used that money instead to buy the original 3 films in 2 different sets in the end. I bought the British set, which came with them all in very, very thin cases, so I have all 3 films, but then I also bought the Australian editions because they came with an extra disc for each set, including special features. Only the first 3 films. I already had the 4th one, and I'm not going to buy the 5th one. I don't want to watch that piece of shit again. Somehow the 5th one makes the 4th one bearable. How about that? So, yeah. It's about respecting the craft and respecting art, and seeing Jamie Lee Curtis look like a Snapchat filter, you know, like it just looks awful. The way that they were able to compare the images and be like, you see these wrinkle lines she has because she's a human being. People do that. Yeah, the new version makes it look like 10 times worse because, and I found this out recently. Someone had did a video. This guy did a video talking about Inland Empire, talking about the Criterion, which I also did not know this was a thing with the Criterion, which sucks because I bought it, but I also am okay with having bought it because it comes with a buttload of special features that I didn't have previously, and I'm a David Lynch fan, I'll take what I can get. They did a 4K remaster of that for what is basically a 480p film that was upscaled to 1080p for release, which I already had a 1080p Blu-ray, so I don't really need to watch the Criterion, but they've AI upscaled it or whatever for a 4K restoration of something that shouldn't have a 4K restoration, and the images make it look unbearable. Not really. I'm actually okay with it in a way. I need to see it in action personally, but it's already a weird looking film, so I'm okay with it, and also it being director approved, but then at the same time so is Aliens, so I'm kind of sounding really hypocritical right now. I don't know. Aliens looks like a movie. Inland Empire does not, and that's what I like about Inland Empire. It looks like someone had a shitty camcorder and filmed for too many hours and then released it as a movie. It's great, I love it. So it's tricky to see something like that and to know that he showed a visual of how they would have done it, where they would have had the original image, and then they took a copy of that, did this thing where it's it hardens the outlines, like stencils or whatever, you know, like every edge and whatever is emphasized by a thick line, thick black coloration, and then applying that on top of the original footage. So it makes it look HDier. It doesn't. So knowing that I still haven't actually gone around to watching that Criterion does kind of bother me in a way. I know it's a Blu-ray, so at least it's not 4K UHD, but I'm pretty sure it's not a 4K UHD. No, it's not a 4K UHD. So yeah, I've got it here. But the fact that, again, it's new HD digital master made from the 4K restoration supervised by David Lynch. But it, again, comes with stuff I didn't have. It comes with 2 films from 2007, Lynch in brackets 1 in bracket and Lynch 2, which are 2 documentaries about David Lynch, as well as you get an in-conversation with some of the actors, and more things had happened, which is 75 minutes of extra scenes, which originally were on YouTube and have been, I'm pretty sure, since removed. But that stuff I didn't have on my original Blu-ray. I think my original Blu-ray, actually I do have it there, my original Blu-ray, which is the optical home release, comes with an interview with David Lynch, a short interview in London, a conversation with David Lynch, masterclass with David Lynch, and an interview at the Cartier Foundation. Whereas this one comes with it comes with excerpts from Richard A. Barney's book, David Lynch Interviews, which I don't think I have. You get reading by Lynch of excerpts from Room to Dream, which I haven't read, but I have bought, and Ballerina, a 2007 short film. So it comes with, again, also the extra scenes and the conversation with, and 2 documentaries. So as an overall product, I'm still benefiting, but I'm also keeping both, because if I don't like the look of the Criterion scan, I can at least just chuck on the old Blu-ray and be like, I should have just bought the DVD, which my friend actually said. He's like, why would you buy a 1080p of that? It was not filmed in 1080p. It's concerning because mass audiences will still buy this shit up. We all know it. We're collectors. We know this shit. We know that general audiences will not give a shit. I told Dad proudly, oh my god, True Lies is finally coming to physical media. It's, well, Blu-ray. Except for that Spanish release that I think came out a couple years ago. And outside of the original DVDs, which now I might have to hunt down a DVD copy. So I was proudly saying, look, they're releasing it with Aliens on 4K. How cool is that? And then the other day I had to say, oh, bad news, I'm not going to get True Lies on 4K. And he's like, oh, why not? And then I showed him the images and he's like, oh yeah, that looks like shit. So it's understandable. At least for him with the Beatles, it's like because his comparison is the old film. I can give him props for that, At least, if they showed original images from the documentary, being like, look at how good this looks, and then showing you the release version, I'm like, oh, this looks actually awful. What the hell happened? Yeah, it's concerning. So, well, there's nothing we can do, is there? Can we just stop buying it, full stop? No, it's not going to happen. Because a lot of people like these movies and want these movies anyway, and will be buying these movies anyway, even if it looks like shit. They're going to buy it. If they were like the Disney releases for their animated features, where they've done the 4K scan, or at least they've made a 4K version of the film, and then, put it on a disc, but then the pack also comes with a Blu-ray with the old transfer and all the special features, that's nice, but they don't have that for True Lies, and I've already got Aliens on Blu-ray. 2 versions. I got the standard quadrilogy set and then the anthology set. So it's like I don't need the another Blu-ray. So I don't know what to do about it. I'll wait for the physical release to come out, see what people's general ideas are, because I got to import them anyway because they're Disney releases now, and you got to import them to Australia for Disney releases. How wonderful is that? So when they do come out, or if I could just watch it on streaming potentially and see how awful it looks, if it does look as bad as the images show, and I'm like, yeah, I can't. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I might have to force myself to buy it, but I don't really have a Cameron collection at all, so I don't know. I could live without them on 4K for the foreseeable future. Wait for a good, price to go down on Amazon, however I decide to get it, because obviously I got to import. It's the same for Titanic, but Titanic I'm just waiting for the price to go down on, because they have released, in the UK at least, a version that comes with a Blu-ray, but I don't think they've got any DNR or any bad noise on that. Also, I've seen that in 4K in IMAX, and it looked fantastic. So yeah, obviously, if it's not a Disney movie, it's going to look good, but if it is a Disney movie, it's going to look bad, so it's like, oh, well, that kind of sucks. So it's just another one of those days where you have high hopes that the movie you love will come to physical format, or at least an upgrade from a DVD at least. Something in HD where you can see, I was going to say Jamie Lee Curtis dance, but at the same time, you can see Jamie Lee Curtis in her dancing, and she looks like she's made of rubber. I don't know. It is what it is. For now, we'll just see what comes out. They haven't fixed T2, so I don't think it's ever going to change, But knowing that he didn't do it to Titanic is kind of curious. So I don't know what's going to happen. Anyway, I guess as long as it's not owned by Disney or Fox, so I don't know. That's all I've got for you. Let me know of other films that have bad AI 4K restorations, or just bad restorations in general. So not exactly shitting on AI here, but I mean, they're using AI to do it, but also they're just doing it in general. So it's less the factor of how they're doing it and the factor that they're doing it is my problem. If you want to use AI to remaster a film, then that's kind of its own problem in a way, isn't it? Like all the work that you're taking away from people who actually need it, you're giving to a computer program. I'm like, maybe that's not a good idea. I don't know. We'll see. It's not looking good. What positivity I spread into the world. Goodbye.